Hello everyone, welcome to SQ TV. I am your host Rajni Bharara, and today I have with me again a very special guest on the show. His name is Dr. Piyush Juneja. He is an Ayurvedic doctor and also a certified cannabis practitioner. Today on the episode, we are going to speak with him about cannabis. But before, let's welcome him to SQ TV. Hello, Dr. Piyush. Welcome to SQ TV again.
Hi, thanks, Rajni. And thanks for inviting. And it's a very important topic you people have selected today. So I appreciate all of you for selecting this topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking our time and coming to the show and doing the show. And yes, it indeed is a very important topic, so that we would like to discuss with you. Dr. Piyush, without wasting any time, I actually would like to begin the interview by asking you my very first question. That if you can, please actually explain to the audiences about cannabis. What exactly is cannabis, and a bit of a history about it too. I mean, the origination. I mean, where did it originate from? And a bit of a history about it.
Sure. Cannabis, we need to understand as far as the cannabis is concerned, it is known as like bhang or vijaya in Ayurveda.
Yeah.
And if you talk about the history, I think we Indians have the oldest, one of the oldest like Vedas and one of the oldest, you can say, literature, documented literature in terms of Vedas are concerned. So in our Ved, it is mentioned, and in fact, if you see our history, so that five sacred plants which have mentioned in Ved, in that also Vijay and Bhang is one of those five. So we have
Mm-hmm.
Tulsi, Gilo, and other plants. So it's like around five plants are there. So it is one
Mm-hmm.
of the oldest and one of the like I will say plant with the most healing properties. In Ayurveda, we have seen more than 100 and around 190 formulations are there, where it has been mentioned and it has been recommended that either standalone or a part of polyherbal formulation it can be used in the classic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we see that actually the problem was due to the like India was being ruled by so many other foreign invaders, and Britishers banned this particular plant and this herb in India. Prior to that, in if you see in the 1800 centuries and early 1900, they have banned this. So after that,
Mm-hmm.
it was like be taken as negative, and we all know that there is a recreational aspect as well. So, but if we talk on the medical aspects, and if we talk Vijaya as a herb, as a plant, it is very much effective in many healing properties. And now the entire world, if you see in US, so many states have legalized this. In Europe, in Australia, recently they have
Yeah.
approved over-the-counter sale of cannabis products, and so many
Mm-hmm.
gradually. In fact, in US, they have proposed in their central senate that the entire country should legalize. In Canada, it's already legalized. So many
Yeah.
coming up, and India also few years back they have made it certain changes, and it is
Mm-hmm.
Schedule E of Ministry of Ayush circular that it is recommended for the medical use under a supervision and under the prescription of a registered practitioner. People can
Mm-hmm.
for their medical use. So if you see
Mm-hmm.
the heritage and the history, this is there from last so many years in our country. But yes, there are
Mm-hmm.
challenges, and accordingly we will take it forward.
Okay. But Dr. Piyush, before 1980, before the Rajiv Gandhi government was there, so in India, it was legalized pretty much and people were using it. But then what was the major reason for Rajiv Gandhi government to ban it? And if it was legalized before, then why not now? And why is such a controversy around it to make it legal once again? Why is it illegal?
No, actually, I want to clarify first of all. See, the legalities and the illegal aspect we need to understand very
Mm-hmm.
clearly. That, as you mentioned, I don't want to get involved in any blaming any government or any party. But yes, there were certain issues and there were certain maybe confusions. I will say misconceptions. But I congratulate. Let's leave our past. But I congratulate this government and this present government that they are very positive and they have taken steps in which this entire domain has now re-established in our country from last few years, and it is
Mm-hmm.
legal. First of all, let me clarify what is legal and what is illegal, because there are still many confusions around cannabis. So if you talk about food, the hemp seeds and hemp seed oils are illegal. If you talk about medicines, the leaf extract is pretty legal. You can take extract from the leaves of the cannabis and prepare medical preparations, tinctures, tablets, powder. Many things are there. So many companies are doing. So that is pretty legal under the prescription of a registered practitioner. Till now, in our country, all the products, all the medicines, everything is being approved under Ayurveda. So technically, the Ayurveda practitioners are authorized to prescribe that. Apart from that, if somebody is taking the flower or bird or taking it on a recreational aspect, that entire thing is illegal and it's not allowed in India. So that we need to understand first of all. Recreational use is not legal, but medicinal use, industrial use in fabrics, and by the way, hemp and cannabis is having so many usages. It's like you can create fabric out of this. You can have industrial usage. You can have fuel. You can have
Yeah.
many other usages are there. So it is pretty legal in those aspects. So Uttarakhand is the first state who has allowed the commercial cultivation, the industrial cultivation of cannabis and hemp. And Himachal is also on the verge of finalizing the policy, as we got news in media. So these and some other states are also at the final stage, because it's a state subject. It's a state approval subject in terms of the cultivation of raw material and in terms of the marketing approval of any product or medicine. So state governments and state bodies allow that. So in that way, we need to understand what is legal and what is legal. And if we are doing our work under the legal framework, it is definitely benefiting so many people in so many ways, without having any side effect and giving them a proper healing.
Okay, okay. But Dr. Piyush, like you mentioned about Uttarakhand and Himachal, so it is also said that, the quality of the cannabis varies from place to place, So is it exact? I mean, does this happen? And also, does the quality of the cannabis varies from place to place? And as per the, certified expert and practitioner, so which cannabis would you prefer has the best quality in terms of, varying from places?
Again, a very good question, an excellent question. See, we need to understand, as far as the quality is concerned. First of all, we need to understand we don't have much choice right now. As I said, Uttarakhand is the only state. Then there are certain regions and certain pockets in UP, MP, and as we talked about Himachal and some other states as well. Now we need to understand this entire plant and this entire thing still is under excise because of the vulnerable aspect of this plant, and this can be abused or misused as well. So they are also involved in this. Now they have a limited quota of raw material, or you say the raw herbs, which are there. So as a clinician, as a practitioner, we always look forward for the best quality. Still in our country there are challenges, because it is not like anyone can grow this. Like in, if you go to Canada or US, they have greenhouses. They have, like, people are growing this in their home. You will be surprised to know that in their household they can grow. They can have hybrid seeds. They can have best quality seeds, best quality atmosphere, because the entire R&D, many universities have invested millions and $1 billion in developing species which are like at advanced level in terms of the formulation, in terms of the composition, in terms of the quality aspect. So I will say, although we have the history, but I appreciate and I respect countries like US, Canada, and European countries and all. Like in Israel, in Italy, in many countries, Israel has done tremendous research on cannabis. If you see, so
Yeah.
all countries are doing research and they have best quality herbs and best quality raw material. Now, if we talk about India, the only advantage in India is one, the Himalayan range, because that is one of the most productive and most, you will say, uh, the best quality we have. So Himachal, no doubt, is having one of the best quality as far as cannabis is concerned, and now government is regulating that, and government is coming up with the policy where they will allow that we can have the medicinal usage, we can have the R&D facility, we can have the industrial usage and all, and farmers can actually do the cultivation, which will definitely improve the economy, which will definitely empower those farmers, that they can grow themselves financially in terms of when they are cultivating this particular plant, because we have huge demand in terms of medical usage, industrial usage, and many other usages are concerned. And now many
Mhm.
international organizations and international companies are also looking forward to India. And I again appreciate this government, the Make in India initiative, the initiative where this government is looking forward that they are very clear that you come to us, you grow here, you make here, make in India, and you then
Mhm.
go to the entire world. So I think that is the best way to promote this. And now when many research institutes in our country are also serious, and they have started some research, and many agriculture universities and agriculture institutes are also working on that. They have started working recently. So now these
Mhm.
further developments are there. I think we are looking forward to have many more good quality species. But yes, as a natural heritage, the Himalayas are the best. There is a Mackle range in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, which is also
Mhm.
very good in terms of the production, but again unexplored till now. So let's see how the government bodies will approve. There are some forest ranges in the south as well, where we can think of. But again, we are just looking forward for the state bodies to approve this particular plant. As soon as we will get more and more state authorities and governments approving this, we will have better quality raw material. And but yes,
Mhm.
till now, whatever the quality we have, all the companies are ensuring that they are testing in the lab. We have all the lab reports, we have all the quality control in place, and I congratulate and appreciate all the companies who are working in medical cannabis space in our country. All of them are very much stringent and very much focused in terms of the quality. And as we have used the imported medicine earlier because that was not available in India, and now we are using the Indian brands, we can very well say that they are equivalent, sometimes in fact better also, because we are having full spectrum here, and
Mhm.
the overall quality is very good. So it is benefiting the patients as well.
Okay, okay. So, but while you're buying cannabis, what should be the biggest concern while you're buying it? And also, how can we measure the quality? I mean, which quality is better and which quality is worse? How can we measure it?
Again, a very good question, by the way. See, we need to understand whenever we are buying as a customer, as a consumer. If you are talking that, I think your question is for the customer or consumer if they are buying
Yeah.
cannabis, so how they can ensure.
Mhm.
Now, if I am a consumer or a customer, we need to understand which kind of products are again access they are accessible for me, and as a legal framework, I can buy them. These are number one, the hemp seeds, hemp seed powder, and hemp seed oil. That is for the nutrition. In fact, this
Mhm.
is one of the richest source of omega 3 and omega 6 and the proteins. And you will surprised to know that only two food in the entire world are having the golden ratio of omega, that is omega 3 and omega 6. One is the fish
Mhm.
oil and another is the hemp seed oil. And as more and more people are going vegan and they want the plant based and natural based food, so hemp seed
Yeah.
oil is the only option for them as far as the omega 3 and omega 6 are concerned. And that is very good for heart, for anti aging, for weight management, and so many other aspects in our body. And protein, one of the highest and richest source of protein, plant-based protein. If you say again, those who are vegans or vegetarians, the plant-based proteins are very less. And hemp seeds and hemp seed powder are one of the richest source of plant-based protein. So if you talk about the quality, all the leading manufacturers in our country, you talk and you may mention all these companies, all the leading companies who are manufacturing these food products, they have good quality. All of them are almost equivalent, I will say. I have recommended, I have prescribed, I have seen the usage of all these companies. So because the sourcing, the raw material sourcing is very limited, so that's why
Mhm.
most of them are either buying from maybe two or three manufacturers at all right now. So that's why the quality control is still good, and they are maintaining that. The second aspect is the medicines, the tinctures. So again, leave that decision to your doctor, because see, those who are practicing medical cannabis. So one, we talked about the food products which they can buy online. There are so many sites they can order
Mhm.
seed oil and powder. Now we are talking
Mhm.
about the tinctures, the medicines, the CBD oil, full spectrum CBD oil, tablets, gummies, powders. Many things are there. Topical products are there, and cosmetics. I will come to cosmetics in a while. So these medical
Mhm.
products always give the decision to your doctor, to your person who is prescribing. Why? Because like for example, we are prescribing and we are using all these products for our patients from last few years now, and more than 5,000 patients we have healed till now. And from last few years we have used and we have prescribed all the leading brands in our country. So we know, and most of the other practitioners also who are working in medical cannabis in our country, they know that which particular companies are having good quality products which they have seen in their patients. So
Mm-hmm.
that decision to your doctor, and they will be best prescribing you. And now by Indian companies who are coming with their brands, the cost has reduced one fourth. Earlier we used to have tinctures and these kind of products like 10,000, 15,000 that cost, but now we can easily get in 2,000, 3,000 as well, and sometimes less than that also if you have a 10 ml packing. But generally the cost is very much economical now, and many people can afford that easily. And then we have
Mm-hmm.
classical preparations also in Ayurveda. So all these things are like doctors are very well aware. And the third one is the cosmetic. Again, the cosmetic part is taken care by several companies these days in our country, and all of them you can check the overall certifications, the authentications from the company. They have all the lab analysis report. You can do your allergy tests and all. But I have seen by and large all these companies who are working in hemp and cannabis space, they all of them have good quality as far as the end result of the products are concerned. And till now, personally and professionally, as per my experience, I have not seen any bad quality. There can be, you can say, minor here and there, but moreover, all of them are maintaining good quality. And I appreciate and I congratulated to all those industry people who are ensuring with very limited resources, with lots of challenges in regulatory framework.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand, I can see that they have so many challenges, and this industry is at a very initial, very initial phase in our country. So they are very
Mm-hmm.
much, struggling to survive in many aspects. Still, they are maintaining the best quality and they are giving at a very optimum cost. That is remarkable and that is really appreciable.
Okay, but does consuming the poor quality cannabis does it have some side effect if you consume poor quality? Yeah.
And in fact, again, you have raised a very valid point. One point I missed in that talk. Always never buy a product from any individual. Let me clarify to you. I have seen many patients are buying product. Somebody is in Bangalore, somebody is in Kolkata, somebody is there, somebody there. They are giving them the product. Never ever buy a product from individual. You have a checklist. You can create a checklist. Never ever buy a product without a brand name. Always check the company website, their credentials, their GMP certificate, their lab analysis. Always ask them. And any good transparent company, those companies who are serious and who are doing business, either they have publicly posted on their websites about the documents, or you can check on Google, you will get. Otherwise you can ask the company people and they are very much willing to share if they are
Mm-hmm.
genuine. So, but those who are doing hanky panky and those who are having low quality, and those who are preparing on their home, some are preparing in their home setups, all of them are illegal. First of all, they have bad quality. You are absolutely right. There are few people in our country which I came to know. So always ensure that whenever you are buying cannabis medicines, as I said, first connect to your doctor. Second, check the company, check their credentials, check their certifications, check their legalities. And if any company who is having the certification, and when you get your product, your bottle, the minimum legal requirements are the ingredient should be there, the potency should be mentioned, GMP number, license, Ayush license, everything should be mentioned on the bottle, and they have the soft copies on their website. The pictures are on their websites. You can zoom and see all the pictures, all the brand, and with
Mm-hmm.
from and always buy from the directly. The best way is to directly buy from the company website rather than these local people developing their own local websites and selling sometime fake or sometime products which are not good in quality. So always
Mm-hmm.
buy directly from the company rather than taking it from these kind of unreliable sources. That will ensure you that you are getting a good quality product, because whenever you are buying directly from the company, you are getting directly from the company, you are getting an invoice also from the company, and
Mm-hmm.
then on record is that there, yes, genuinely you are buying directly from the company. There are some good credible in aggregators platforms as well. So always check that and always ensure, but never buy from a local person, never buy without label. I have found patients and people using the cannabis medicines, but the label was missing, the documentation was missing, it was not mentioned, the potency was not mentioned, and it was very handwritten. Sometime I've seen handwritten products as well. So never ever do that, because those kind of products can cause harm. And you are absolutely right, if it is in bad quality, if the
Mm-hmm.
ratio is not very well maintained, it can harm as well, it can have side effects as well.
Okay, but Dr. Piyush, I would also like to know from you that, but the young people, I mean, those who smoke cannabis in the form of, they call it, in Hindi, we call it charas and ganja. In English, we call it weed and hash. So, in these two forms, which is a better form? And would you recommend to, for the younger people to, if they want to smoke, so would you recommend that they can use it for the recreational purposes?
No, actually, we need to understand as far as the smoke is concerned for recreational purpose, still it's illegal in our country. We need
Yeah,
to understand the law of the land where we are living. So, and we
absolutely.
till the time we can't advocate or we can't justify anything which is not legal. Point number one. Second, there are some medicated. See, we need to understand as far as the cannabis is concerned, there are some medicated like smoke forms available approved by again the regulatory bodies that can
Mhm.
in the respiratory diseases or some diseases of the upper respiratory system or lungs or that kind of stuff. So these kind of products are available which we can prescribe and patients can take as a oral. It's a kind of a somebody's taking a nebulizer, somebody's taking a vapor vape form of medicine, so that is legal. But recreational smoking or recreational usage of cannabis for smoking is still illegal in our country, so that we need to understand. And accordingly, if we many bodies and many people are fighting that if tobacco is legal, if alcohol is legal, on that note they are fighting and they are like having this legal discussions, and you can say some kind of a cases or petitions are also going on. So let's see how the government will take it forward. And the word is decriminalization, because in many countries they
Okay.
have criminalized the thing, but it is regulated. So let's not get into what is legal, what is illegal. The better way to see it is, let's decriminalize this herb. Let's make it regulated, because we have bhanka thekas also in our country from last
Yeah.
years. People are taking on Holi, people are taking on certain other festivals. They can go to these bhanka tekas in many states. They can take the tablet and they can take it. So if they are taking that from the bhanka teka, why can't we have regulated maybe places where people can go and buy? If we can sell
Mhm.
a nicotine or a tobacco at a pan ka dukan, which is more harmful, if you say, so that is an entire separate discussion. But yes,
Yeah.
in the time it is not legal and it is not approved from our government. Nobody can advocate or justify that on any platform, which we also always request to all the listeners and to all the people that let's wait, let's
Mhm.
hope that one day our government will decriminalize it and regulate it as many other countries are doing. In fact, recently Thailand has announced this particular, you will be surprised to know, they have announced this particular plant as a national heritage plant of their country, and they want to promote
Okay.
this at a global level that Thailand is standing with cannabis and they are legalizing this, they are marketing, they are promoting like anything. And if they have given a plant a status of a national heritage plant, you can understand the seriousness this country.
Yeah.
So I think more and more countries are now opening up, and one day India will also realize, because ultimately, end of the day, this is the plant from India. So
Yeah.
like yoga becomes yoga, and then people realize. So one day they will realize about the importance of this plant as well.
Hmm. But that's what I was actually about to mention, that in our Vedas, our rishis have actually called this herb as the king of the 5,000 herbs, because it has. I mean, it has proven to cure so many diseases and so many problems. Whereas, in comparison to, if we compare cannabis to alcohol, so we have seen that alcohol has, actually killed people, and as alcohol have become a reason for people's death. Whereas, I don't think anyone who have consumed cannabis have, is actually have found I want to say that I don't think cannabis have actually ever become a reason for someone's death. So whereas alcohol has, but then still, why does alcohol does not have a bad name and cannabis has?
See, again, we need to understand as far as our history is concerned and the mindset which was there. So, from the day one, it has been positioned in a negative way, and there are many, many reasons for that. See, on one side it is having an excellent healing property. So now in countries like US, Canada, although they have done so many research, still there are certain lobbies which are against this, because they know the more popular, in fact, it will be, the more healing effects people will have, and their business will be at risk. So that is one reason which I can say, as a practitioner, I have seen so many healing effects. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
there is one study, there is one research that around 40% of people in US are taking cannabis in any form. So it's a very significant number. If the entire country, 40% population are taking some herb, some plant, so that is a very significant number. Now, the second thing which we need to understand is, in our text, in our Vedas, in our Ayurveda, anywhere in our ancient history, the mention about plant is there, but there is a specific dose and a specific quantity is also mentioned, and there is a way of taking this is also mentioned. If you are taking it in a smoke form also, but the way, the ingredient which you can take, and the entire thing is beautifully mentioned. Now the problem is, people have manipulated, or people have maybe, uh, uh, people have stated a wrong interpretation of that, and then
Mm-hmm.
an overdose and excess of anything will be harmful to your body. If I take sugar in excess, if I take anything in excess, it will harm.
Yeah.
So anything which is excess, anything which you are abusing yourself, you are getting addicted, and all these things are definitely harmful. So that's why, and problem is, one rotten apple will spoil the entire basket. So in that
Yeah.
way, you can say that yes, till now we have, actually the problem here is the implementation of the regulations are a challenge. So already we are dealing with the tobacco, already we are dealing with alcohol, and now there are lobbies, and I don't want to get involved in that discussion, but the point here is, we all know that there are lobbies of each and every industry, so nobody will want that there is a risk on their industry if they are allowing any other industry. So that is the reason that hemp fabric is not, in fact, hemp fabric is one of the best fabric, long lasting fabric, you can say,
Mm-hmm.
due to the lobby in cotton industry. So many people are still against that, and many people are still not promoting that. So there are so many reasons and so many dimensions to see that why a particular industry is suffering and why another industry is flourishing. But yes, as the demand will increase, as more and more, so the thing, the movement, I will say, or the initiative should be start from the ground level. The more and more
Mm-hmm.
people start accepting this, the more and more people start seeing it in a positive way, rather than just labeling it a negative herb, or connecting it as a taboo. They will
Mm-hmm.
have seen many patients and many people, many grandparents got the healing, and now they are asking their grandson and granddaughter to adopt this herb in their life, and vice versa. Many young teenagers have seen the healing, and they have,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, by the way, you correctly mentioned, we have helped people in de-addiction, we have helped people in stopping their smoking, their alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
other aspects with the help of cannabis, because the anxiety, the depression, insomnia, many things are there when somebody is addict. So in de-addiction, in fact, it is working very well, and again, medically, with an optimum dose, under a medical doctor supervision, it can do wonders.
Okay, okay. But Dr. Piyush, so are we somewhere lacking? I mean, I'm talking about our country. Is India somewhere lacking in comparison to the countries who have legalized it? Because, being the home of this herb, we have still illegalized it. So are we lacking somewhere in comparison to those countries?
Absolutely, absolutely. We need to understand that as far as the legalization, as I said, it's not about legalization, it's about decriminalization, first of all,
Yeah.
because right now it is a criminal offense if somebody is having this herb in their own personal, without a medical usage. If you don't have
Mm-hmm.
medical usage justification, you don't have a prescription, and you have maybe the raw herb, or the birds or flowers which are illegal. So all these things are still a criminal offense in our country, and so we need to understand that those countries who have legalized, they have understood the importance and the, so there is a risk benefit analysis for any particular agent, and there are more benefits of this herb than the risk if you compare with any other thing like tobacco or alcohol or whatever. So they have
Yeah.
realized that potential, and by the way, whenever we have seen, and again it's a proven data, research, and facts, that any country which has legalized, the abuse, the misuse has been reduced, the overall criminal activities, everything has been reduced significantly in those countries where they have legalized this. where they have
Mm-hmm.
decriminalized this, they have seen a drastic shift, and the revenue increase. They are getting so much of taxes. They are getting so much of funds. The
Mm-hmm.
people are also getting benefited. They are leaving the harmful habits of taking the harmful agents as compared to cannabis, and so many other aspects are there. So I think yes, they are pretty mature enough to understand those benefits. As I recently quoted an example of Thailand, and Thailand is very young for this.
Yeah.
In Canada, US, and other Israel, Europe, and Australia, people are doing research from last so many years. But Thailand is pretty new, but they have also realized the potential. They have also realized the value and the benefits of this herb. So they have also legalized and decriminalized, and in fact, they have gone one step ahead, that they have declared it as a national heritage plant. So I think yes, now the whole world is talking about this. We are seeing more and more developments. And I said, when yoga was there in India, nobody cares. But when it became
Mm-hmm.
after going to the West, and then now
Yeah.
celebrating International Yoga Day, and so many things are there. So the same way, when the entire West is accepting, and now the entire country is going to legalize as far as the US is concerned. They recently
Mm-hmm.
introduced this in their central Senate, and they will
Mm-hmm.
because already it's there in many states. So let's see. Let's hope that yes, our country will realize this. And they are already making progress in Ayurveda, by the way, in Ministry of Ayush, in several Ayurveda institutes.
Mm-hmm.
Already the research is going on. Already the PG students are doing research on this herb. Already many central research institutes in Ayurveda, many cancer hospitals are doing some clinical trials. So it's not that India is not doing anything. They are already doing research. The medical aspects are already being evolved here and being talked and being discussed. And I again congratulate and appreciate those companies, those medical cannabis companies who are working from those aspects, that they are doing R&D, they are doing exhaustive research in collaboration with all these institutes. So yes, we have also started taking steps now, and hope that
Mm-hmm.
one day it will be decriminalized and more people will be getting benefited.
Amazing, amazing. We are really hoping it to be soon, because I think it has actually become a habit of, Indian people. Until and unless the West accepted, we, we actually don't like to accept things until and unless the West accepts it. So, Dr. Piyush, last but not the least, before I let you go, I would like to know from you that is there anything in particular that you would like the audiences to know about cannabis that have been a myth around it for a long time?
See, first of all, let me clarify. If you are taking, in fact, we yesterday we have released this on some social media platforms. Many people are asking, is it an addictive thing? Like if we start, it will cause us
Mm-hmm.
addiction. So I clearly say no. If you are taking in an optimum dose under some guidance of a medical practitioner, it will not cause you an addiction. That is point number one. Second, again, it is in fact beneficial in many aspects for your body. So the myth is it is addictive. Yes, it is addictive, or anything is addictive, which is
Yeah.
being over used or maybe abused or in excess. But in limited dose and limited quantity, under some supervision, if you start, it is not at all addictive, and it will help you in so many aspects you can't imagine. And many doctors and many scientists and researchers have proven that in entire global scenarios, you just type this and you will see lots of information. So many research papers are there. We did a couple of stories with India Today channel as well. In the COVID times also, it has been proven in one research study that it is very much helpful in controlling the cytokine storm and the damage to the lungs. In also many other diseases, in cancer, so many research studies are there. In insomnia, anxiety, stress, many. If I start talking about, in fact, you will be surprised to know that US FDA, one of the most strict regulatory body of the world, has approved a couple of medicines where cannabis is one ingredient. The UK body has
Mm-hmm.
approved one medicine where cannabis is an ingredient for the epilepsy, for the pediatric, for the children in epileptic seizures. They have approved. So if they are approving
Mm-hmm.
certain kind of medicines where cannabis is one of the ingredient, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
anybody will have any question. But yes, the
Yeah.
more and more research, the more and more awareness, the more and more talking like this. I appreciate again you and your channel, that I think you are one of the first channel on YouTube who those who have taken some kind of an initiative. And I request, let's continue this kind of campaign. We have more experts and more people who can join you and talk on this particular herb and this particular plant.
Mm.
Let's start this kind of a campaign on your channel if maybe it is possible.
Definitely.
We can have more and more sessions and more people will be aware. The more we will be talking on this, the more we'll be creating awareness and we'll be
Yeah.
spreading their awareness in our country. I think it will create a positive impact and hope that one day we will see some consolidated progress on this.
Yeah, definitely. And we are hoping for the day to come soon. And, for that, we have people like you who are actually trying their level best to decriminalize it and also, to actually educate people more and more about it. So thank you so much, Dr. Piyush, for coming to the channel and doing the show and, spreading such an important information to the audiences. Thank you again.
Thanks.
All right, guys, that's it from SCube TV. Keep on watching and do subscribe to the channel.